good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, you are welcome to today's class. Class is about Edu 213. That's educational technology. In our previous class, we discussed on concepts and history of educational technology, and we were able to pinpoint some issues on educational technology. We were introduced on the history of education in Nigeria, and we also discussed on how educational technology came into the limelight of Nigerian schools. We talked on the definition of education. We also discussed on the definition of technology. We also spoke on the concept of educational technology, and we discussed some issues based on technology generally in Nigeria. And I remember that I told you that I gave you a deeper understanding about a deeper understanding on who a teacher is and who a professional teacher is. And we also discussed on the introduction of you know radio broadcasting, how radio broadcasting came into limelight in education, and the importance of radio broadcasting in educational technology. We also discussed on some historical background of educational technology. We made mention of how some of these, some of this history helps in educational development. I remembered we spoke on television station, the introduction of what's it called? The introduction of television and the importance of television broadcasting and what have you in education. To buttress the point in our last class, some policies that were made in education which really helps in the advancement of education in Nigeria. There are a lot of things that are put in place to make education more interesting when it comes to the issue of technology. All right. If we all remember what happened during COVID, we were all a victim of I don't want to say a victim of a dino during COVID pandemic. And we believe that during that COVID pandemic, a lot of innovations came into educational system, like the introduction of e-learning, the introduction of teaching online, which came into existence immediately after that COVID. And majority of schools started introducing online teaching in our educational system. The same thing, the same vein, government also introduced a lot of benefits of technology in education. The history of educational technology in Nigeria, it reflects a lot of shifting from previous from previous analog way of teaching to a new era of digital teaching. Today's teaching, most especially in secondary schools and sometimes and also in primary school, a lot of digital appliances has been introduced in teaching. This make teaching and learning more interesting. Despite the challenges, there is no way you want to introduce new technologies that challenges won't occur. And one thing about technology is that once it is introduced, it takes time for people to adapt to the new technology. And we take for example like this online teaching. When some students were told that we're going to be doing some teachings online, some were even talking about data, some were making reference to the bandwidth, some were making reference to the timing, some were making different references were coming up. All right, those are the challenges we face when it comes to educational technology. And don't be surprised, the drive we are moving into now is going to be shifting from analog teaching into digital teaching. And I bet you that the digital teaching is more interesting and more convenient, because it will pave way and it will pave more time for even you, the learner, to get more time for you to do some other things that you needed to do than the previous method of teaching. Despite the challenges, despite the different thing that is going on, a lot of things has also been initiated to make it more interesting, to make it more educating, to make it more more adapting for us towards to gain more access to educational technology. Just note the difference between education and technology. Education is the process of learning, alright, while technology is the use of digital device in learning, the use of digital devices in learning. What are the digital devices we use in learning? Computer is one of the most common devices we use in learning. In the previous days, education in Nigeria relies on analog method of teaching, which involve the use of chalkboard, it involve the use of textbook and oral instruction. Do you understand? So in our previous method, in our previous way of teaching, a lot of setbacks were made. All right, a lot of things were introduced which really causes, or which really made different setback in learning. For example, the use of chalkboard, the use of blackboard, the use of textbook, the use of oral teaching. But nowadays you don't even need you don't even need the presence of the educator or the lecturer or the teacher to be in that hall before you can learn. You can come online to learn. A lot of facilities have been put in place for easy access or for easy learning process. In the early 60s, a lot of things, a lot of different method of teaching were put in place that will enhance, or that will lessen, or that will make education more interesting and more adaptive for people to learn. Now, another introduction of educational technology is the internet. Now, when you look at the internet is very vast. International networking is very, very vast in such a way that majority of us can go online now and source for different information online. Don't be surprised that the internet has turned to a hub where people go to search or to source or to solve for different information. You can sit at the comfort of your house and search for what is happening in Dubai. You can sit at the comfort of your house and look for what is happening in Kenya. You can sit at the comfort of your home and look for what is happening in every other part of the world. And this is the beauty of educational technology. The internet, different people, so many of us now have access to the internet. Now, note that there's difference between internet and networking. All right, internet and networking are two different terms. Internet is the ability for you to gain access to the World Wide Web, while networking is the communication of two or more computers. All right, the communication when two or more computers are communicating with each other, that is networking. While internet is you gaining access to the World Wide Web. And what is the World Wide Web? Is the internet. What is up? What is on cloud? All right, a lot of information are saved on the cloud. All right, that's what we refer to as cloud computing. And this has brought a lot of changes. It has brought a lot of development in educational technology. Access to the internet has brought a lot of innovation in teaching, learning, and in educational technology. We are in the process of access to the internet. We have e-learning. A lot of changes in education. Majority of us also go online to study. All right, there are some certification that are acquired also online. I wasn't in the country. I've never been to India. All right, there's a lot of certificates that are acquired online. These are the beauty of educational technology. All right, just like I said, I made mention of what happened during the COVID. All right, COVID-19 brought a lot of exposure in educational technology. One of the earliest technology used for educational purpose was radio broadcasting. When you look at the nitty-gritty, when you look at the effect, or when you look at the importance of radio broadcasting, you will know that radio broadcasting has brought a lot of changes in educational technology. For example, in radio broadcasting, You don't need this conventional canvassing any longer. Even in the present age that we have now, hardly will you see people producing physical flyers. All right, everything has turned to everything has turned to That's electronic. Everything has been electronified. Do you understand? Everything has been modified in such a way that you really don't need that person. All right, before you can transact business, you really don't need you really don't need to see the person physically before you can do whatever you want to do. So everything can now be done on the internet. So that's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of educational technology. That's the beauty of technology. All right, technology has brought a lot of advancement. Technology has brought a lot of changes. Technology has brought a lot of development in education and our ecosystem generally. All right. Now, the use of cinemas also played a vital role in early days of educational technology in Nigeria. All right. The use of cinemas. Majority go to the cinemas to watch film. All right, new thing that is about to happen or new movies that is coming, you go to the cinema to watch it before it is released. Nowadays, you don't even need the conventional cinemas anymore. What you just need to do is to go online. All right, there are some movies, except if those movies are premiered. All right, there are so many things that you can go online to get. There are so many educational movies that you can go online to get. You don't need the lecturer to be telling you to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. Everything has been converted with the use of technology. We all know the invention of WhatsApp, the invention of Facebook, the invention of so many of these social networking. They've brought a lot of changes in terms of educational technology. Now, majority of the schools or most schools are now using technology to drive their education. All right, I remember one school that I worked with. I hardly go to the school. All right, what I just do is to sit where I'm sitting down here. All right, then I communicate with the school. Everything I do it from this place. All right, then I send everything I need to do. I have to send it online. All right, so what I do is to database the number of students in the school, to collect their results, to do a lot of changes on their database, and then after that, then I send it to the owner of the school. And don't be surprised, even the owner of the school has been off this country for more than 8-10 years, and she's really monitoring what is going on in the school. All right, so this is what we refer to as educational technology. Different things has come into being and have changed a lot of modules in terms of educational text. There are still history of educational technology.